Welcome, wrestling fans, to the Fred Kesley Fieldhouse in beautiful Pulaski, Wisconsin. We are here for the finals of the 53rd annual Pulaski Wrestling Invitational. It has been a great day of wrestling so far. Temperatures might be chilly outside, but things have been heating up here in the Fieldhouse. I'm Terry Manning, here to call the action tonight. Joining me is Brock Manning, an assistant coach with the Pulaski Wrestling Program. Brock, it's been a crazy day so far, has it not?
It always is.
Yep. We've got no surprise in the team race, I would say. We've got Division I, number 1 ranked Kaukauna leading the field. They're at about 239.5 points as we get ready to head into the finals. Luxembourg Cass goes in second place, and Bayport is in third. We are going to pause for a second so that we can hear our national anthem sung by Pulaski High School senior Delaney Nickerson. Fantastic job. Once again, that's Pulaski High School senior Delaney Nickerson hitting the high note on the national anthem. Folks, it is time to tuck in your socks and start the clocks. We're going to wrestle here again, the 53rd annual Pulaski Invitational Finals. We are happy to bring this to you. This is courtesy of the Raider Strong Network here at PHS. In our 106-pound final tonight, we have Jake Jandrin from Luxembourg Casco and Landon Heim from Bayport. Brock, what was the path here for these number 1 and 2 seeds to get to the finals?
Yeah, Jandrin from LC, he took out Pulaski's Fredrickson in the first round, or excuse me, the second round, and then beat Jenkins from Kaukauna 8-3. Heim, he wrestled Ganter of O'Connell Falls in the semis, and before that, he beat Brazo from Hortonville.
So no surprises necessarily that we got the number 1 and 2 seeds here at 106 pounds, making it to the finals. We are just underway. I mentioned before that we have the Raider Strong Network. That's a student-led broadcast that we're bringing the action to you. And we're a little bit of a test for us tonight here with our RSN crew. We've got some new equipment we're using, so we are a little shy on graphics right now. We'll do our best to keep you apprised of what the score is, how much time is left in the bouts and such. We'll bring those details to you. We've got Jandrin in the red anklet, Heim in the green ankle bands. Still 0-0 here as we're heading close to just 1 minute expired in this championship bout at 106 pounds. You can hear announcer Mike Nickerson going through those team scores again. Kaukauna pretty much iced this thing going into the semifinals, maybe halfway through Okay, before the semifinals, let's just say it. All right, I think they had about a 100-point lead. I'm not sure, but just a really strong team coming in. Speaking of Kaukauna, it was a nice little recognition right before the finals of Pulaski alum, we're proud to say, head coach at Kaukauna, Jeff Machek, who was recently honored by the, I believe it was the NFH, I'm going to screw that one up, the National Federation. There we go, the National Federation recognized him as Wrestling Coach of the Year. Sorry about that, Jeff, I messed that one up. But regardless, a very deserving coach. He's been there 32 years. Of course, there was a solid foundation already in place at Kaukauna, but you bring in a guy like Jeff Machek, and he had the vision and helped create what is now a bit of a juggernaut there at Kaukauna. So congratulations, Kaukauna and Jeff Machek. Here we are in the second period already at 106 pounds, scoreless, as Heim is riding, looking for that cradle, but Jandron gets to his feet, working for hand control, and kind of just coughs up the easy escape. Said, let's just go here in neutral and make it happen.
And this is the fourth time these guys have met up so far this year. Jandron's gotten the better of Heim each time, but the margin of victory is getting a little bit more narrow. So we'll see if Heim can seal the deal on this one.
That's right. Neither wrestler really able to get to the other's legs. As we're looking to get some sort of an attack going. A lot of hand fighting, and now a distant shot by Heim. Jandron does a nice job of controlling those ties, right? Any action, any hand fight that Heim is trying to get, like an underhook right there, Jandron is able to fight it off. And now Jandron in on that little fireman's action on the edge of the mat. It looks close, but Heim was able to fight it off, just hooking that leg and heading out of bounds. Restart with 40 seconds left in the second period. Heim looking for that front head. See those Bayport wrestlers working a lot of front head, snap down front head. Of course, Pulaski, number 4 ranked team in Division I, and number 2 ranked Bayport squared off the other night in a dual meet. We saw a lot of that from the Bayport wrestlers, going snap down front head, and they do a pretty nice job. They'll end up, if they can get the wrestler down, they'll go to tabletop position. They'll do a lot of head in the hole, and they're pretty darn successful at it. Once again, off the mat. 3 seconds left here in the second period. 1-0, the score in favor of Jandron from Luxembourg Casco. And that's the way that's going to end. Heim immediately takes the bottom position. He wants to get that point back, even things up. Jandron throwing the leg in. The boots are in. He's got the cross body ride. Working that ankle. Putting that weight forward. Making it tough on Heim. Heim able to control wrist. Well, wait, maybe that was Jandron that was controlling wrist, but they call a little stalemate. We'll get a restart. I like that call. Let's get it fresh. Let's get it going. Let's keep the action moving. Heim able to work to his feet right away. Cuts, and now it's 1-1 with a minute and a half left in this championship bout. Heim getting busy with those hands, batting that head around a little bit, pulling on those wrists, trying to straighten that arm, making him carry his weight, takes a shot. Head is down. Jandron doing a nice job of keeping hips away, keeping that separation and pounding on that head. Come back to a fresh start here in neutral. No contact. Closing in on 1 minute remaining in this tied match at 106 pounds. Really getting things going here. The first weight class of the Pulaski Invitational Finals. And now Jandron gets to that single leg. Switches to double. Comes to his feet. He's got a lift. He brings him back to the mat. There's the 2. He's got to ride him out now for 35. And Brock, you had said it before, these have been closely contested matches all the way through. This one is no different. 20 seconds remain, 3-1 the score. Jandren on top with a hard ride, tight waist. There's the stall call. Not that it's going to make a lot of difference, but I kind of like the idea of giving Heim a shot here with a fresh start. Toes are curled, he's ready to go. He's sitting back in, looking for that little windshield wipe pivot position. But Jandren able to break him back down flat. That's the way it's going to end, folks. The first champion to be named at the 53rd annual Pulaski Invitational, Jake Jandren from Luxembourg Casco with a 3-1 victory. Tough match. Nice solid bout by these two guys. We're going to head to 113 pounds, where our finalists are Wyatt Skiba from Hortonville and Wyatt Megalski from New London. So we've got the Battle of Wyatts here at 113 pounds, and we've got Skiba getting the early lead with a quick takedown there. Less than 30 seconds expired in the match so far. But you know these guys are familiar with one another. I'm sure they find each other here or there to train with, or have squared off at other tournaments.
Place match results of 106, winning the 7th place match. Decision.
Wyatt Megalski of New London was your champion at the Pulaski Invite last year at 106 pounds. Skiba was the champion at this weight class. So an interesting bit of events here that we've got 2 Pulaski Invite champs squaring off. Skiba electing to cut Megalski right away. It's the voluntary cut. And so we're 2-1 with 40 seconds left in the first period. There's Skiba back on his offense, hits that little low ankle double. Comes around for 2. He leads 4-1, 30 seconds. Little blood time here. Looking at some of the credentials, man, Wyatt Skiba, mentioned last year, Pulaski Invite champ. He's a 2-time state runner-up. He's a Greco state champ, a preseason nationals champ, a Fargo All-American. Holy smokes, I'm running out of breath. Wyatt Megalski, he's no slouch, we said, last year, won the Invite at 106. He's already won 3 tournaments this year. He was 3rd at state last year. He's a 2-time state qualifier. Take a look at their path to the finals. How'd that work out today, Brock?
Skiba had a bye first round as a number 1 seed, so he tech falled Kakana in the semis to get here. So,
all right.
And then Megalski, he had a bye as well. Beat West Appear with a fall and 3-1 decision over Wathke from Bayport.
Tight match.
Wathke is tough.
he is a tough kid, stays in good position. So that was a hard-fought semifinal. The first period is going to end right there. 4-1 your score. Skiba with the lead. Skiba taking the bottom position. Gets to his feet right away. Migalski able to return him. Now finds hands, gets that hip separation, cuts and squares off. We're 5-1. I'll tell you that Wyatt Migalski, he's not going to stop. I can tell you that. I've watched this kid train at AWA for a number of years, and he's got a motor. He's not going to back down. Just love this kid's work ethic. And I'm sure that Coach Genrich would say the same thing about his boy from Hortonville. Skiba coming around close to, he's got that hamstring and sneaking around there. He finally is able to break him as he runs him down, picks up another 2. 7-1 the score halfway through the match. Skiba with a hard crossface. Looking cradle. Migalski able to fight that off. Just trying to hold position, regain. He's trying to get back up to that elbow, you can see. Skiba doing a nice job. Teed off, putting the pressure on. That's a tough ride. Migalski looking back, maybe he can sneak something by holding on to that leg, trying to build base. You see him trying to get hips up there. He's getting back. He's working his way back. But Skiba pretty relentless with that ride. Now under 10 seconds here in the second period. Just a tough ride there from Skiba. Little news out of Hortonville, Brock. I don't know if you know this one, but Hortonville just recently got a brand spanking new wrestling room. And I've seen pictures.
I did hear that. I heard
Yes,
that.
I've
There's
seen
a couple
pictures.
Of those floating around now. Luxembourg's got a nice one.
Beautiful.
Hortonville. There's another one I'm missing. I'm blanking on what it is, but there's another team in the area that's got a real nice one too.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Chris Genrich shared some photos with me earlier this month, and man, it is just a thing of beauty. And like you said, Luxembourg, that's another one. It's a little bit of, you know, if you build it. Actually, Coach Genrich was saying in a conversation with him last week how it's been inspiring to his kids. Like they it seems like, you know, that maybe they spend a little more time in the wrestling room, and it's just a great facility. Yeah, no secret, right? If you build it, you make it nice. Kids like to hang out there. That's a great place for a kid to hang out, is a wrestling room, I think. So here we are with a minute 5 with a fresh start. Minute 5 left in this match. 7-1 the score. Skiba with a little head shuck, little juke, little dipsy-do there, and then hits that shot. Gets in there trying to peel that leg off and keep his leg Turk, bottom leg Turk. He's able to relinquish it and get his 2. Now we're at 9-1. Skiba just tough on that ride. And we're going to get a warning. I don't know. I see it. Makes sense, but pretty tough task at this point with Skiba riding tough on top. And Migalski still trying to build base. He's still trying to work up. that's the way this one's going to end today. 10-1 the score. And seriously, two solid competitors. So congratulations to Wyatt Skiba from Hortonville, picking up another Pulaski Invitational Championship at 113 pounds. Maybe we can sneak a little peek over here at the award winners at 106 pounds. Let's see if I can get to that. We'll go from 6th place on up. We've got Parker Owens of Coleman in 6th, Jake Fredrickson of Pulaski in 5th place. Nice showing for Jake Fredrickson, don't you think?
Yeah, he wrestled that Luxembourg kid in the first round, so that was a tough out for him, but he battled back well and wrestled well.
Yeah, that's nice. Garrett Gantner from O'Connell Falls in 4th, Nick Jenkins of Kaukauna in 3rd, Landon Heim, you saw it, Landon Heim of Bayport in the runner-up position, and Jake Jandrin of Luxembourg Casco picking up the gold at 106 pounds. So coming back here to the championship bout at 120 pounds. Pulaski's homegrown Ethan Eggert in the red ankle bands. And Ethan is squaring off with Isaac Jerabek. I had to search for a first name there for a second. Isaac Jerabek from Luxembourg Casco with the green leg bands. And Jerabek taking a nice little Smith ankle biter shot. He's in on that leg. Ethan able to fight it off so far. He's got the ankle, pulling that up, trying to improve his position. But now Jerabek close to waterfall position, but Ethan able to bring him back. Now back in that head in the middle spot. Ethan doing a nice job keeping hips in and nullifying any action there. So we're getting a fresh start. Minute 7 left in the first period. Both wrestlers still kind of getting to know each other at 120 pounds. Eggert now taking a single leg shot to that right side. He ducks head underneath, sit the middle, and it's going to be Jerabek's turn to try to stop that. He's pinching knees together, trying to keep anything from happening, but Eggert sneaking down to that heel, trying to peek out. Now, if he can get that leg turked, he's close. But Jerabek does a nice job of trying to get a little ankle pass there, making it tough. Eggert's close now with that cross wrist. He's going to score 2 right there. So Eggert picks up control and a quick 2-0 lead here in the first period.
Ethan very good in this position. When he gets that Turk position, he scores a lot of points from here.
Well, we know Pulaski works it a lot. We know that Ethan spends time at AWA Green Bay. They work it a lot, so he has spent plenty of time there. He knows what he's doing. All right, so after the flip of the coin, Eggert will be in the bottom position. Again, 2-0 the lead for Ethan Eggert of Pulaski here at 120 pounds. Now, this is the first weight class, Brock, that we are not seeing the number 1 and 2 seeds in the finals. Isaac Jerabek had a little bit different route. He came in as a 3 seed, I believe, right?
Yes, he was a 3 seed. He tech-falled Seymour in the quarters, and then in the semis, he took out a kid from Freedom. 8-7 was the score, so a really tight one. Ethan came in as the 1 seed. He had to buy the first round. Had a fall against Agnew from West De Pere, and then an 11-7 decision over Schlumpf from Bayport.
And those two, Alois Schlumpf and Ethan, just wrestled the other night.
Yes,
a little
on
bit
Thursday.
Different result.
Different result, yeah. Ethan was able to get a fall. That Schlumpf, he's a tough kid. He's a freshman, and he's the real deal. So
showed a little bounce back here today in the semis. So good for him. But here we are, again, back here with the action at 120. Eggert was able to get his escape. He's close to scoring now. If he can come around, hook, step over, there he's going to get it. Extends that lead to 5-0. 30 seconds left.
Here's a fun Ethan Eggert AWA story.
Love to hear it.
On senior night, the parents come up and they, give a little speech about their kids, and I should say the night before senior night, and his mom shared with everyone that the only punishment that they could give to Ethan the last few years is if he was misbehaving at home was to threaten to take away AWA practice. That's the only way he'd shape up. So they tried everything else, and they said nothing else worked except for threatening to not go to practice.
That is beautiful. So, folks, if you're out there and you're looking for parenting advice, maybe Ethan's parents will publish a book. Maybe you can pick it up at Barnes & Noble or something. Parenting the Eggert way. Ethan Eggert on top now. Again, 5-0. Here we are in the third period. Choosing to ride here as he's got an interesting combination here. He's got a cross ankle up. Now Jerbeck able to belly down, looking to build base. Ethan Eggert, said last year, was a state medalist. Had a nice run last year, especially at that state tournament. Looked good, wrestled hard, ended up in 5th place, right?
Mm-hmm. 5th.
Was one of 3 medalists for the Red Raiders. Off the mat on the far side. 1:05 left in this bout. Ethan Eggert with a solid lead, 5-0. Ethan was a finalist here last year, of course, wanting to improve on that, I'm sure. The place winner at the Bi-State Marquette Challenge. Back in 2021, Ethan was a state freestyle champion. Isaac Jerbeck, 32-9 on the season. Ranked number 9 in Division II. State qualifier last year. .30 seconds left in this championship bout. Ethan Eggert, I'm confident, will be content to just hang in there and with a tough ride. Keep those wrists tied up, keeping him flat. Nothing crazy. Takes a little peek at the clock to make sure. Puts him down one more time just to make sure. And there we are. That's the way this one's going to end, folks. 2-1. That's the match. There you have it. Ethan Eggert able to climb to the top spot on the podium here at the Pulaski Invitational. And senior Ethan Eggert from Pulaski picking up the victory. We're going to sneak over here to the in a moment we'll sneak over and take a look at the place winners at 113. But in the meantime, let's see. Brock, you're going to have to help me out. We must have 3rd place matches on mat 2. Is that correct?
No, that would be 5th place.
Oh, that's 5th over there. So 3rd place matches are on mat 4. Maybe we could sneak a peek at mat 4 where, who do we have up here? That's where we mentioned Alois Schlumpf before,
yep.
Having a much improved match against Ethan Eggert in the semifinals. Still then won his Consi semi and got back here in the 3rd place match. And he's wrestling Tomazevic from Freedom.
Who was your 2 seed originally coming in.
That's right. That's right, Jerebic knocked him off 8-7 in the semis. Tomasevic is ahead 5-1 here in the second period of this bronze medal match. Peter Tomasevic from Freedom, ranked number 5 in D2. Ooh, he's got some offense. And there, look at Alois able to sneak 2 there, a little reversal. 5-3, tightens it up. Brock, you mentioned this before, that Schlumpf is a gamer. There's a classic right there. That one, whoa. He took a page out of the Mark Richmond playbook from back in Badgers 1986 era right there, where when somebody's about to escape, you give a little foot sweep and boop, you kind of catch him, and he was able to maintain control. I mean, it looked like Tomasevic was out, right? He was ready to square and face, but little foot sweep. A little sneaky snake there. Stays in control. And now Tomasevic able to
end of period too.
Find that reversal. Yeah, nice little show of intensity from Tomasevic as he sneaks 2 right at the end of the period. So 7-3 the score in this bronze medal match at 120 pounds. Peter Tomasevic from Freedom in the lead. Schlumpf from Bayport getting an escape. And now there's an exchange with another takedown, so we're going to be at 9-4. No, we got locked hands call. It's going to make it 9-5 and a fresh start. Minute and a half left in the bout. Always a beautiful sight here at the Fred Kessley Fieldhouse to see wall-to-wall mats. And I love the work that the Pulaski Wrestling Club has done over the years to be able to run great events. One thing we can always say about Pulaski, they run great events and have for years. Clearly 53 years with this one. Pretty impressive thing to do. They have that kind of a run and they have the kind of quality that this tournament year after year attracts. Gonna give a tip of the hat to Luke Martinson, who is the tournament director. I'll tell you, since Luke has taken over that role, this tournament has become just insanely efficient. It's really great that we are able to watch hotly contested matches. We see this kind of talent come together, and you know, people are still out of the gym and back home at a decent time where they can rest and recover and still enjoy their weekend. So again, hats off to Luke Martinson, the tournament director for the Pulaski Invitational. 9-6 the score now between Tomasevic and Schlumpf. About 15 seconds left. Alois hitting a little crossbody action, stepping over. It's going to be close.
You think about how different the score would be had he not given up that end of period reversal. All of a sudden it's a 1-point match going in there and you're a takedown away from winning.
That's right. He's a young man that he is close. I think we're going to see a lot and hear a lot in the future with this young man. Like we said, a freshman there at 120 pounds for Bayport. But congrats to Peter Tomasevic for picking up the bronze medal at the Pulaski Invite. You've heard it before, you'll hear it again. If you can medal here, you can medal pretty much anywhere, especially the state tournament. Let's take a look here at our finals, or our place winners, I should say, at 113 pounds. We'll start with sixth place, where it's Brock Ambrosius of Pulaski with the sixth place finish. Michael Bostwick of Luxembourg Casco in fifth. Connor Markowitz of Coleman ended up fourth. Owen Wathke of Bayport in third. Wyatt Migalski of New London in second, and Wyatt Skiba, you saw it here, of Hortonville, picking up the championship at 113 pounds. We're going to turn our attention to 126, where we have Luxembourg Casco's Blakely Baston and Kaukauna Lucas Peters. Lucas Peters is having one heck of a season. Peters going to work right away. And he picks up a takedown in less than 30 seconds.
And we're in the green ankle band, a two-time state freestyle champion, the 2022 state runner-up, a winner of the
Lucas Peters came into the tournament with the number one seed. He's a junior, 29-4 on the season. And Brock, you know how this goes. These Kaukauna guys, they don't duck anyone. They have an insanely tough schedule. So a 29-4 record, yeah, that's in that schedule.
You're talking losses at the Minnesota Christmas tournament or the Cheesehead.
Yeah,
most likely.
Right.
So
and those are two phenomenal tournaments. Peters able to pick up another takedown, 4-1 the score, 45 seconds left in the first period. He has an arm bar locked up.
winning the seventh place match by decision, Ethan Agnew, West of here, 7-4. Winning the fifth place match by decision, John Noah.
Blakely Baston from Luxembourg. He is no slouch whatsoever. Oh, we got a fall over here on mat 3 for the third place match. So you've heard a little excitement there. That's what's happening. We had a Bayport Pulaski square off, and it was Bayport picking up a fall, surprisingly there, to be honest. I didn't think that match would end in a fall, but that's the way it is. And back to this final, though, Lucas Peters finding some back points right at the end of the period and on the edge of the mat. 6-1 the score heading into the second period at 126 pounds. Again, Lucas Peters from Kaukauna, Blakely Bastion from Luxembourg Casco. Peters able to get his escape. And Bastion pretty much conceded that one. That's fine. He kind of wanted to wrestle up here on his feet. And another common theme that you'll probably hear tonight is that both these wrestlers are AWA kids, spend their off seasons or a good part of their year over there at AWA Green Bay, and so that's just one of the changes we've seen as wrestling has evolved over the years. How, you know, it is no big deal for kids to get together from other schools and train and work out, and learn from each other and push each other and get each other better. So while things are intense and tough right now between those two, when they step off the mat, it's going to be handshakes and hugs and, you know, well wishes. Not the case right now, as Lucas Peters is putting the hurt on Blakely with that arm bar, running it over. Blakely Baston is a tough kid, though, I can tell you. He's a little unorthodox. He's kind of hippie. He'll put himself in sometimes some goofy spots, and he scores from them. And I have a feeling there might be times that he drives Coach Chaz a little crazy, but it's hard to argue with the results. He knows what he's doing. He knows his body, and has been pretty successful. And just a sophomore here in that Luxembourg Casco lineup. Lucas Peters really going to work now, scoring again at the end of the period, picks up 3. We're at 15-1 heading into the third. Bastian's going to have his choice. He's going to choose neutral. So this could be it. Oh, nice little ankle biter. That's the way this one's going to end, folks. 17-1. Lucas Peters, your champion at 126 pounds. Pretty impressive showing by Lucas Peters. Again, 29-4 coming in. He looks like he is on track. I'm thinking Lucas is ranked number 1 in Division 1. Is that accurate?
He's number 1.
Yeah,
yes.
number 1. He was. Yeah, that's right. Lucas wrestled Shane Corrigan in the finals last year at the state tournament, and he has been on a mission. We're going to turn our attention over here to the 5th place bout, where, who do we have here? Soket from Denmark and Gruber from Coleman. Got a 9-0 score. Looks like Denmark in the lead on that one. I believe that's accurate. And that's the way that one's going to end. So just one bout finishing up here in this final round at 126. Gives us a chance, Brock, to talk a little collegiate wrestling.
Did you watch the duel last night?
I did not watch the duel. And when you say the duel, of course, you're talking about
Iowa and Penn State, number 1 versus number 2.
Number 1, number 2, out at Penn State, sold out crowd, of course, at Penn State's arena. They have a beautiful wrestling arena there, and I'm sure that, boy, I bet the Nittany Lion fans just shake that building.
Oh, it was an exciting one.
Right. I forget what the final score was of that duel. It's like
22-15 or something like that.
Something along those lines.
Spencer Lee had a tech fall. Got taken down right away by an 0-2. I don't know if I believe he was a freshman. And that place just erupted.
Yeah.
And Spencer Lee turned around and put it on him right after that.
Yeah.
And then RBY had a nice fall. Place was going crazy. So, yeah, it was a fun duel to watch. Micah Parsons was there, who's plays for the Dallas Cowboys and was a Nittany Lion alum, and he was in the front row. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, they highlighted him a lot. Shane Sparks interviewed him, and some cool stuff going on there. So,
yeah, no surprise Shane Sparks was there.
oh yeah,
Man, that's awesome. We miss Shane. Shane used to cover the Pulaski Invite. He always claimed this is his favorite invitational, his one-day tournament, his absolute favorite across the whole state, across the whole season. He loved coming to Pulaski. Wow, that's just mainly because he loves Polish sausage.
and the band.
He loved the band. I'm still hearing it from Shane Sparks, because when I was tournament director, I listened to the coaches. Coaches said, we got to speed this thing up. So we said, well, we'll do away with the band. I love the band. Don't get me wrong. I love the band. Boy, Shane still gives me grief about that. I'm sorry, Shane. Hey, let's turn our attention to the championship match here at 132 pounds, where we have Brian Winans from Kaukauna, a 31-2 senior, squared off with Easton Warchek from Luxembourg Casco, 35-5 on the year. He's also a senior. This one, to me, could be interesting.
Well, they have to be familiar with each other, right? Are they both AWA boys?
They are. I saw Brian there last spring, summer. Easton is is there a lot. I love watching Easton Warchek wrestle. I mean, this kid will pull the ripcord, fearless, big lungs. Well, we've got an injury on the 5th place mat, but no score yet here at 132 in the championship bout. Still kind of getting to know each other. A little tentative, I'm sure, because really we've got two dynamic and explosive wrestlers squaring off. Like I said before, Warchek he's got like a hair trigger. I mean, he can just, you can go feet to back like in a heartbeat squared off with this guy. And Winans, I'm trying to think who was his semifinal match. I went against Owen Knoll from Bayport, and Knoll came out solid, and Owen Knoll is a solid wrestler. Really good position, strong, just very sound, and I think he took Winans down early, and then the tables turned because again, Brian Winans, pretty dynamic kid. Well, that's the way the first period is going to end, 0-0 as we go to the second. Winans chooses bottom. Of course, wants to get that opportunity to score first. And we'll see if Warchek is going to be content to keep him down or where we're going to go here in this second period. Winans going to that quad pod position. Warchek looking like he's got claw. Trying to keep him forward. He is. He's claw riding, pulling Winans forward. Winans now able to get his hips underneath a little bit. Nice mat return by Warchek. Interesting little look by Winans, looking for a little, dare I say, the fat man roll. He's looking to hook elbow and get a little roll, but they go off the mat. I mentioned the semifinal between Winans and Owen Knoll. What about Warchek there, Brock? What was his path here today?
Yeah, he had a first round bye as a 2 seed, and then ended up pinning a kid from New London in 47 seconds, and then a tech fall in the semis. So this will be a good test for him here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that in the preseason write-up that Coach Genrich sends out, I thought that Easton had been wrestling 138, had he not?
Yeah, he had been. He was number 4 in D2 at 138. And we've seen that a couple times so far in the finals. Guys starting to make that shift now towards the end of the season.
Right.
And a lot of them want to get that first test in here.
Yep. Well, there's your first point of the match. It's Winans getting the escape. 30 seconds left in the second period. Warchek was the runner-up here last year. He's used to seeing those galloping ghosts in the finals. He wrestled Lucas Peters here last year. Winans coming hard with that underhook, controlling that tie on the edge of the mat. Off the mat they go, 1 second remains. Mentioned that Winans is 31-2 on the year, ranked number 1 in Division I. You can see, man, we're in a murderer's row here with Kaukaunaa's lineup. Holy smokes. You've got Lucas Peters and Winans and Grayson Clark, and oh my golly, it just doesn't seem to stop. Here we are in the third period. Winans with the leg turked. Looking to dig out something, probably looking for that bottom shoulder. But Warchek able to sneak that leg back out. Warchek now regaining position, fighting front head. Warchek with the escape, 1-1 with 1:20 to go in the bout. Winans was your Pulaski Invite champ last year. He was 3rd at state. He's a 2-time state qualifier. state Greco finalist. Saw a little bit of Greco there at the end of that second period. Warchek has won a couple of tournaments this year. He was a state champion in 21, three-time state place winner, freestyle state runner-up.
Owen Knoll just beat that Bozile, I believe is how you say his name, from O'Connell Falls. It was a good win for him. They were tied up with about 10 seconds left.
Picked up the takedown?
Yeah, right to his back.
Wow.
Knoll's number 9 in D1 and Bozile's number 2, I believe, or 4.
Yeah, that's a good matchup. 1-1 the score here in your championship final. 20 seconds left. We did just get a warning for stalling. I think Warchek got dinged there with a warning. There's Winans, very comfortable tying things up, upper body underhook on one side, overhook on the other. Warchek doing a nice job keeping the hips back. We're gonna go to sudden victory. Minute on the clock. Here we go. Not a surprise to me that this match is coming down to an overtime. Warchek fires one off, and it's Warchek who picks up the takedown on a double leg. Winans was kind of looking to do a little roly-poly action there. He's kind of thinking he was going to sit it and roll him through, but Warchek able to settle the hips down, pick up the 2-point takedown. Wow! Did that in about 10 seconds. That was impressive. Nice job by Easton Warchek. Two quality wrestlers right there. Fantastic finish to the action at 132 pounds. Let's take a look here if we can call out your place winners at 126 pounds. Let's sneak here to the 6th place finisher, Chase Gruber of Coleman, finished 6th. Brett Sokwe, I'm sorry if I'm screwing that up, from Denmark. Connor Noyen of Pulaski ended up 4th. Peyton Garcia of Bayport was 3rd. Blakely Bastion of Luxembourg Casco was your runner-up, and you saw it here, Lucas Peters picking up a championship at 126 pounds. And now we'll turn our attention back to the finals at 138, where, all right, the talk of the tournament, probably the talk of the state. This is one of the absolute toughest guys in the state of Wisconsin. Grayson Clark from Kaukauna is squaring off with Ryan Tomazovic from Seymour. Clark going to work right away, picking up a takedown.
A winner of 4 tournaments this year so far, a 2-time Pulaski Invitational champion, currently ranked number 1 in Division I, a senior with a 32-0 record from Kaukauna, Grayson Clark.
Not sure if you could hear public address announcer Mike Nickerson going through Grayson Clark's credentials, but oh my golly, there he goes. He goes a little, almost was crab riding far half and then pulled him over, rolled him through, and gets the fall in less than a minute. Holy smokes, Brock. That's pretty darn impressive when you consider that he squared off with a young man from Seymour who has 1 loss on the season.
Yeah, he's 29-1 coming into that final.
And Clark, who's undefeated, no disrespect here, but he kind of made it look like he was drilling. That was nuts. Congratulations, Grayson Clark. We'll sneak over here to the 5th place bout, it looks like, or well, we can come back. There we go. Let's go to the 3rd place bout. I like that. We're going to go to the 3rd place bout. Let's see who we have here wrestling for 3rd. We've got Niebauer from Hortonville and Delabrew from Luxembourg Casco.
And Niebauer in the semis lost to Tomazovic 1-0. So that's could have easily been him in the finals.
That's right. Niebauer putting together a nice season. 28-4 junior. (6-2) the score on that takedown. It is Delabrew with that lead. Now Delabrew escapes 7-2. A little more than halfway through this match. Again, this is your third place match at 138. And Delabrew finding a head and arm. It doesn't look like he's going to get any backs for it, but he's got his takedown. Oh, there he did. He got a couple swipes there on the edge of the mat on the strength of that headlock. Wow, I just can't get over that finish at the championship finish at 138. We didn't even get a chance to talk about how tough Grayson Clark is, and the match is over. Undefeated in his senior campaign. Two-time Pulaski Invite champ. He's won 4 tournaments this year, 3-time state champ. Third place at Super 32.
Where is he committed to now?
Yeah, Grayson is heading to Purdue. I remember sitting here a year ago and we were talking about how exciting that's going to be to watch him wrestle for the Badgers. And I'm not exactly sure. You would have to ask Grayson or his family about that. But you know, it is so fluid nowadays. You certainly can't blame a kid if he feels like, well, you know, maybe I verbaled, or you know, maybe initially this was my choice. You know, Purdue came in and he felt like it was a better situation for him to wrestle there. Why not? I mean, you're in the Big Ten. Great school. Purdue is a fantastic school. So, you know, and the other part, just the landscape of the NCAA sports in general is so different now with the transfer portal, with NIL, and I don't know. I don't know if any of that came into play for Grayson and his decision, but you know, the complexion of the recruiting can change quickly if all of a sudden you think, oh, I want to go to this school, or this school is courting me, but then there's that school picks up someone from a transfer portal. I'm not saying that's what happened at Wisconsin, but you know, those sorts of variables, you know, make it tough for high school kids to really say, hey, I'm gonna absolutely commit to this particular place. So like I said, the landscape is changing. I'm, you know, knowing Grayson the little bit that I do, and he's a well thought out kid, strong, just an absolute solid family. You know that they made a good decision and are going to move forward with it. So, you know, congrats to Grayson with his commit to Purdue, and congrats on his season so far. We really hope for the best for him as February and March approach. So, Brock, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind talking a little bit more about that Penn State-Iowa match. I did see a little commentary from Coach Brands following the match.
Tell me, I didn't hear this.
Well, the idiom he continued to use was, sometimes you got to take your medicine.
Yeah, they took some.
They took some medicine. Yeah. And so that was apparently his message to his squad, that, you know, better to figure out what's going on now. If you haven't been training the right way, or you haven't been doing the right things, or if you haven't been cutting weight the right way, or whatever it is, if you just haven't been wrestling the style or doing the things the coaches want you to do, then you have to take your medicine. And sometimes the best way to take your medicine is get something handed to you right there in front of a sellout crowd. That's what I took away from it. I don't know.
He has an interesting way of speaking.
He does.
That man.
But, you know, his nephew wrestled a pretty inspired match last night. Nelson
That's
Brands.
Terry's son, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he lost by a point. Did you see the dance move he hit on? I forget who he was wrestling.
Wasn't he wrestling, wasn't it Starachi?
Yes, Starachi. He had like a 1-point match with them.
Yeah.
And Starachi was kind of dancing around the mat a lot, like not engaging a lot. And at the end, Nelson Brands gave him a dance move as
really?
Kind of giving him a, what are you doing? Yeah, why,
yeah,
like,
a little
let's wrestle.
dance revolution
Yeah, I'm
there
here to
going
wrestle.
on. Nice.
Yeah, so I thought that was funny. Got a kick out of that.
That's something that you wouldn't normally see from a Brands.
No.
Especially Nelson Brands.
Not big dancers, I don't think.
Not big dancers,
No.
no. They like the big dance. They don't like dancing. At some point, I'll go back and share with you folks the place winners of the 138 or 32-pound weight class. Sorry, 32-pound weight class. But I got a little wrapped up here in our collegiate talk. Here in the finals at 145, we have Nathan Vandehey from Freedom and Connor Smith from Kaukauna. Imagine that, another Kaukauna guy. Like we said, they have that like little death row going there. But Nathan Vandehey, he is out to a quick lead there as he picked up a takedown right away. And we're at minute 22 left in the first period. But Nathan Vandehey from Freedom with the lead, and Smith able to pick up an escape right there on the edge of the mat. 2-1 your score, minute 15 left in the first period.
Place match results in 138. Winning the 7th place match by decision, Nicholas Shoemaker, Bayport, 7-5. Winning the 5th place match by decision, Stephen Pulaski, Denmark, 3-0.
Vandehey just long and strong and agile, mobile. Picks up another takedown. The long arm of the law reaching out there and grabbing a double leg and reeling it in, driving to it and taking him down. 4-1 the score. Not a ton of action going on right now. Let me go back and recount the place winners at 132 pounds while we get a fresh start here in this championship bout. 6th place went to Austin Schmallenberger of New London. 5th was Colin Pratt of Pulaski. Cole Boziel of O'Connell Falls was 4th. Owen Knoll, Bayport was 3rd. You mentioned that match, Brock, that was a heck of an effort by Owen Knoll of Bayport in that bronze medal match. Brian Winans of Kaukauna was the runner-up, and Easton Warcheck, on the strength of that sudden victory win, was your champion at 130 pounds in the 53rd annual Pulaski Wrestling Invitational. Back here at 145 pounds, we've come to the conclusion of the first period. Nathan Vandehey from Freedom with the lead, 4-1. Smith electing to choose the bottom position. Vandehey, the senior. Smith, also a senior. Nathan sporting a 41-3 record at this point of the season. Smith, 21-5. Vandehey elects to concede the escape. 4-2 the score. Minute 25 remaining in the second. Vandehey looks like he's trying to get a little touch and go. Now he goes to underhook and elbow. Battling for a little head position. Gonna double underhook and push him out of bounds. You'll see if Vandehey goes back to this double leg, a little touch and get him to reach, touch and get him to reach, and see if he, oh, there goes Smith. Trying to time that Smith single. Well, there you go. It's right, Brock?
It makes sense. Yeah,
it makes
it's
perfect
destiny.
sense that Smith would do the Smith single. There it is. There's that double.
That was powerful.
Nice double leg. Again, got to love the way he's setting that up. Little bob, little touch, little level change, and boom, he's in there. Again, a great advantage to have that kind of height and length. And Nathan electing to voluntarily get Connor Smith back up on the mat, or up on his feet. And now Smith, knowing that he's better off at least trying to attack those legs, hits another quick shot. Not the low ankle biter this time, but more high crotch, head outside. But Nate Vandehei tough in this position too, because he's squirrely with those hips and able to push that head down, beat the corner, cut around the corner, hook the leg, and get his two. Nathan Vandehei leading 8-3 with 15 seconds left in the second period. Connor Smith trying to get something going there. A little topsy-turvy, a little roly-poly. Nothing doing. As Vandehei was able to keep that leg in, go cross-body ride, nullify the position. And we're going to go into the third period with Vandehei taking the bottom position. Smith with the leg in. Vandehei, sorry, looking to drop him down to that hip, but he's coughed up another limb. Coughed up that far side power half, but boy, he's also coming out the back door. And he is. He's going to sneak out that back door as he elevates his hips. He's going to pop that head out. There it is, and there's the reversal. 10-3 now. Nathan Vandehei comes hard with a crossface. Kind of waking him up with a nice hard crossface, breaking him down over the leg. That's picking up the count there.
Wow.
With that crossface. It was kind of interesting. He had a crossface and he had a top leg turked instead of a bottom leg turked. Was still able to make it happen. Again, that leverage is wicked. Always drives me crazy, Brock, when I hear people say, oh, you know, some short, stout guy, oh, you're built like a wrestler. I don't know. I think Nathan Vandehei is built like a wrestler. Picks up another swipe or two, and we're at 15-3 with less than 30 seconds in this bout.
They had an 11-7 match earlier this year, so.
Oh, yeah.
A tight battle.
Yeah, there's another, he picks up a little tilt. He's picking up another, he's got the full boat there. 18-3, he just teched it.
Wow.
Wow.
That was impressive.
That was well done by Nathan Vandehei. You got to feel good about where Nathan is at. He's got to feel good about things. That's a tough competitor from Kaukauna. You know, Nathan was the state runner-up last year. He's been in the state semis a couple times. You know that kid has got his sights set on gold in the Kohl Center. I hope he gets it. He's a heck of a nice kid, works extremely hard, and even when he's out there on the mat going hard, he's smiling. I said this last year. I mean, I'm telling you, this. I don't think I've seen a time when that kid isn't smiling. But great upbeat kid, just a wonderful young man. So congratulations, Nate Vandehei, for your Pulaski Invitational Championship. You take a look at your place winners from 138. Your sixth place finisher at 138 was Reese Yunke of Peshtigo. Fifth place was Stephen Kelpkowski of Denmark. I probably screwed that up, forgive me. Henry Niebauer was your fourth place finisher. Caleb Delabru was third. Ryan Tomazovic of Seymour was second. And Grayson Clark of Kaukauna was your champion at 138 pounds. In the finals now at 152 pounds, we've got Jacob Ward of Bayport squaring off with Will Bieber from Coleman. A couple of highly touted wrestlers here. Ward is your returning champ of the Pulaski Invitational, also a returning state champion. It's close to coughing up two there, but man, Ward is, he's a gamer. He is shifty with those hips and was able to ward off that takedown attempt. But boom, you liked that one, didn't you? So no score here with 1 minute expired in the first period. Bieber was a runner-up here last year. In fact, this is a rematch of last year's 152-pound final. Ward won that one a year ago, 8-1. We'll see if Will Bieber is up to the challenge of changing that result. Again, still zeros. Ward very comfortable up here, digging under hooks. He's over and under right now, but Bieber keeping that head buried so he can keep his hips away and not get tossed. Ward looking to, yep, there they go off the mat on the near side. Ward won the Battle on the Bay this year. Mentioned he was state champion last year. He's a three-time state place winner. Putting together a heck of a nice resume. William Bieber, 27-6 on the year, senior. Looks like he's ranked 3 in Division III. You mentioned he was the runner-up last year here to Jacob Ward. He was a state place winner. He's two-time state qualifier.
Interesting choice there by Bieber to 0-0. His choice, he chose top.
That is interesting. Maybe he knows something we don't. Sometimes, that choice is always tough. Sometimes it's a, little process of elimination. Maybe he just did not want to go underneath Ward and not real comfortable with what was going on in neutral in that first period. Maybe he just felt like this was his best opportunity.
Well, it's looking good for him right now. He's got a bar locked up.
He is running a hard bar. New head coach there at Coleman this year, Jason Champagne, taking over. Doesn't seem like there's any drop-off in the Coleman program with a coaching change. Always a bunch of tough kids there. Those family wrestling names continue to flourish. And Bieber doing a nice job here, riding Jacob Ward out. Looking for a little tilt here. He's close. He got a swipe.
Oh.
But Ward able to free his hips,
he's gonna pin him
cleared
here.
his legs out. And you're right, Brock. This is probably going to end right here. Oh,
That's
my.
tight.
This one is tight. This one is tight, folks. And there it is. Wow. And Bieber giving the clap of disappointment, like, dang it, I was close. And he was. He was so close to scoring on that tilt. He got a swipe. but then Ward, we said he is hippie. He is hippie. He was able to free a leg, scissor his legs, clear his hip, came out on top with a headlock, and that is all she wrote. So Ward just apparently tweaked his shoulder a little bit during that exchange there at the end. We've got a little extracurricular going on here that we will not focus on. And we are now looking at the third place match, right? So over there wrestling for third, we've got Wasman from Hortonville and Lee from Kaukauna. Lee with the 16-2 lead as we come to the waning moments of the 152-pound bronze medal match. And that's the way that one is going to end, with Lee from Kaukauna winning that match. Let's take a look here at our place winners at 100, and we're up to 145. Things are rocking and rolling, Brock. We are making our way through the weights, making our way through the brackets. We're looking at the award winners at 145. Let's start with 6th place, Trevor Finger of Bayport. 6th place. 5th place, of course, was Cameron Kimmel of Coleman. 4th place, Grant Harris of Hortonville. 3rd place, Ethan Brissett of Peshtigo. Connor Smith was your runner-up, and Nathan Vandehei of Freedom picks up that championship hardware at 145 pounds. And now we'll shift gears and take a look at the finalists at 160. And Brock, this is an interesting one to me because Kaukauna has a freshman at this weight class, and he certainly is not looking like or wrestling like a freshman at this weight.
And another 4-loss kid with the caliber of tournaments they're going to as a freshman is very impressive.
So we're talking about Liam Crook from Kaukauna, 29-4 freshman, and he is squared off with Brandon Grabowski from Port Washington. Grabowski 18-1 on the season. He's a senior, and so wow, you know, to have a freshman and a senior squaring off in this weight. And there's Crook in on a beautiful high crotch, cuts across, gets to his feet. He is close to a takedown. He's got to keep him in though, and still got a toe in. Oh, they're going to call him out. They're going to call him out. So no score, but beautiful little high crotch there. Yeah, Crook, a pretty physical kid for a freshman.
Winning the 5th place match by fall, Denmark, 2 minutes 48 seconds. Winning the 3rd place match by major decision,
There's Grabowski taking a little, quite a long shot on that double leg, and Crook able to just down block, stuff head, go around behind. And, you know, watching Liam in his semifinal, and here he comes with that tilt. This is a little bit of trademark for him. And the ref holding 3, now awarding 3. This is what, honestly, what I've been impressed with Liam. And there he is, goes right back to it. He's going to get the full swipe here, and he might even get a fall.
Tilt.
Wow. There's another 3, holding 3. Holy smokes. Changes off to an arm bar. There's our 3. He's got an 8-point lead after 2 minutes of wrestling.
As a freshman on a senior, mind you, at 160.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It is impressive. And, you know, you got to, of course, Liam's a dedicated kid and works hard in the sport and all that kind of stuff. I got to think that it's tough not to get better in Kaukaunaa's wrestling room. You know, that's a great thing for a young man like this, to be in a room that's that tough and people he's surrounded by and the coaching that he's getting. And that's fantastic.
We got to see him at the coaches clinic this year. They usually bring some Kaukauna wrestlers to run through drills while you know, some coaches are doing their clinician duties, and so Kaukauna goes there a lot to do that, and we got to watch him, and one of the coaches turned to me and said, "That's a freshman right there," and he was just in about the best position there was, drilling the hardest on anyone. I was like, "No way, is that a freshman?"
Yeah. Well, and that's what I saw when I watched his semifinal match today. This is the first opportunity I've had to see Liam wrestle competitively this year, and just really good position. Hard to get him out of position. Wrestles within himself. There's that tilt again. He doesn't do anything crazy. You know, a lot of down block, go behind, and that's just brilliant. I mean, that's the stuff that works. So he's tough on top. He's got a right? Kaukauna wrestlers are tough on top. I mean, I know that's something that Coach Machek preaches to his wrestlers. You know, break your opponent from the top position. All right. And now Crook with a 13-0 lead and can take that tilt either way. He rolls through and he gets another couple swipes, and Brock, that's going to end the championship.
Very impressive. I haven't gotten to watch him wrestle this year, so I was excited to watch him today. And he's the real deal.
That was a solid effort. Again, 18-1 senior he's going against. I'm a little speechless, to be honest, but probably not a good quality in a commentator to be speechless, I guess. So
true.
I got to come up with something. Hey, congratulations. How's that? Congratulations to freshman Liam Crook on his first Pulaski Invitational Championship. And as we've said, if this is some sort of measuring stick for you to see if you are on the right path, Jeff Machek has got to feel good about his freshman at 160 pounds. Well, most of the other placement bouts are done here at 160. Oh, wait, sorry. There was just a little break in action there. We can turn to the bronze medal match, where it looks like we have Coleman and Bayport. And that must be Carter Calise from Bayport. Not sure who Carter's wrestling. Kukta from Coleman. Micah Kukta. Carter Calise, Bayport. Micah Kukta from Coleman, and it is Coleman in the lead right now, 7-4, but Calise finds a headlock that wasn't quite able to connect. So Kukta is going to come out on top with this one. He's leading 9-4, and that is the way that one will end. All right. So now we can take a look at our place winners. Yep, we've got all matches completed there at 160. So we'll take a look at the place winners at 152. We have them there. Sixth place was Griffin Van Lannen of Pulaski. Fifth place was Cole Charneski of Denmark. Wasman of Hortonville was in fourth. Peyton Lee of Kaukauna in third. Will Bieber of Coleman was in second place. And Jacob Ward picked up another Pulaski Invitational Championship at 152 pounds. So congratulations, Jacob Ward of Bayport.
Finishing fourth from Hortonville, James Wasman. Finishing third for Kaukauna, Peyton Lee.
Let's take a quick look at our team scores. And course, things aren't going to change a whole lot. We said that Kaukauna had the team title wrapped up. Still had a little bit of a race here between the other teams. Luxembourg-Casco has distanced themselves a little bit here in second place now at 196.5 points. Bayport with a strong showing today at 180.5. Freedom at 167 in fourth place. Coleman 150. Pulaski right on their heels at 149 points. So here we are at 170. Our finalists here at 170, Judah Heyman from Kaukauna, and this is going to be Jack Van Rossum from Freedom. He is a senior, 37-5 on the year, and Judah Heyman, the senior from Kaukauna, 25-9. Heyman with the red ankle bands, Van Rossum with the green. Again, Van Rossum from Freedom, Heyman from Kaukauna. No score in the early going of this one. Hammond working that front head from the feet. Van Rossum doing a nice job posting on that far hip, making sure he can't cut that corner. He's got to get to pulling on that elbow. Can't see, yeah, he is. He's pulling on that elbow, trying to look now, looking a little sucker drag to come out of it. But they go off the mat on the near side. No score. Van Rossum with a distant shot to a single leg. Hammond able to fight it off, and Van Rossum tried to make something out of it, a little barrel roll, a little Kelly, a little something, but it couldn't make anything happen, and now we're going to get a little stalemate. 22 seconds left in the first period. Judah Hammond was your Pulaski Invite champ last year. He was a state qualifier. Van Rossum, he won the Papermaker tournament on Kimberley this year, the Irish and Northern Badger Invite. So he's got some invitational gold on his resume. He's two-time sectional qualifier, preseason Nationals All-American.
And I gotta say, we haven't talked about this yet, but Kaukana's final singlets, very nice. Different than the white they usually go with.
I'm partial to the black.
I'm partial to the black as well.
I'm just kind of old school. Right?
They look sharp.
They are sharp. Nice job, Kaukauna. Nice sharp singlets. I'm a little conservative. Sometimes I feel like maybe the white ones are a little revealing. I'll leave it at that. Van Rossum working hard to get a mat return here, and he does as they go off the mat. Kaukauna always had the like the Oklahoma State style singlet back in the day, you know, like nice and simple, solid color, maybe a little band along the legs or something. Good enough, right? Let's just go out and let our wrestling do the talking instead of like some of these crazy singlets. But again, trust me, I'm old school. Van Rossum working hard, getting a swipe. He's got the leg in. He was close, but not quite. Could only get one swipe. Hammond back to trying to build base. Both boots are in. Van Rossum digging, trying to find that power half. Cranking away there, little crossface. Hammond able to get back to tabletop position. Let's see if he's going to drop Van Rossum down to a hip. He does. But Van Rossum has head and arm locked up, and he's going to, but no, it's Hammond who is able to free his leg, get some hip separation, comes out on top, 2-0 now in favor of Judah Hammond from Kaukauna. Hammond now going with throwing the boot in. And speaking of old school, goes cross-body ride and a little guillotine. He's got it. And there's the swipe. Wow, we haven't seen that one for a while. Leg in, cross-body ride, control the far arm, duck your head under it, and reef him back. He picked up the full boat there. Got all three, and now we're going neutral for the third period. Hammond in on that single leg, steps over. That should be 2. Okay, there's the 2, 7-0. Minute 35 remaining in the bout. Well, Van Rossum ended up, he was a 3rd seed today. He must have pulled an upset there where?
Kukta, is that how you say the name?
I think Kukta.
Kukta from Coleman. I was just looking at my little cheat sheet here. Kukta's #1 in D3, Van Rossum #2 in D2. They met up in the semis. Van Rossum with a 17-5 decision on it.
Wow, nice match by Van Rossum. And now Hammond with that cradle. He's going to go back fall, and he's close. Still has it locked up. Needs to stick that head right in the side. Nope. He had near side cradle. Was able, but Van Rossum was able to break that lock. He's got a cradle again. Now he's got far side. And pulls him back in the saddle, and then he's getting the full swipe here. He's got, yep, we're holding 3. And we just turned it into a major decision with those back points. Again, really impressed with Kaukauna and their tenacity. They just get after it on top. We saw a 60-pounder, relentless with that tilt. Hammond here with just hammering away. Nice cradle to finish it off. 10-0 the score there in your final at 170 pounds. Impressive job by Judah Hammond. Two-time place winner, two-time champion, I should say, at the Pulaski Invite. Let's take a look at your place winners. Back there at 160 pounds. Give me just a second. I can scroll to it and give you the names. Tristan Taylor ended up in 6th place. That's your Pulaski entrant. Aiden Needham of Hortonville was in 5th. Carter Calise of Bayport was in 4th. Micah Kukta of Coleman, your 3rd place finisher. Brandon Grabowski of Port Washington in 2nd. And that freshman that we were just praising up and down, Liam Crook, picks up the championship at 160 pounds at the Pulaski Invite. Dang, that was impressive. Good job, Liam. But now let's take a look at the finalist at 182, where we've got one wrestler whom I know has been here before. Trenton Gibbons of Pulaski. He's your top seed in this weight class. He's going to be squaring off against Trace Schoenebeck of Luxembourg-Casco, a junior sporting a 35-6 record. I remember Trenton squaring off with Wenzicki of Kaukauna in the finals of this tournament a year ago, and that was a really tough match. Trenton wrestled well.
And these two wrestled at Bi-State as well. And boy, that had to be think that was on the backside after Trent lost in the semis. And they had a 7-3 match, so it was a tight one. And I was watching from across the gym there, or the arena, and ran to the bathroom quick. And when I came back, all of a sudden there was 4 more points up on the board. So I'm not exactly sure how all that happened, but it was a tight one up until that point. So.
And who came out on top?
Gibbonson.
Gibby won that one. Okay, so a little rematch there. Gibby's already picked up a takedown on this one. Minute 15 left in the first period. Trenton riding hard on that. He's got a wrist and a bar. Of course, there he goes with, let go of the wrist, keeps the bar. Getting a little gnarly there with that bar. Wants to kind of do a little persuasion with the knee. Not a bad idea. But Schoenebeck able to sneak back to base. Trenton Gibbons, tough, tight waist. Tough ride on top. You see, putting the pressure on. Schoenebeck able to get to his feet. Gibbons knows where he's at. Pushes him out. 33 seconds with the 2-0 lead in the first. Schoenebeck, a physical specimen. Looks like he'd be a tough hombre. Gets to his feet right away. Gibby with a nice mat return, nice lift. But Schoenebeck not willing to just concede, gets back to it. Another nice lift. Trenton Gibbons doing a nice ride out here. 2 mat returns, shifting off to spiral. Now double thigh pry, keeping him in with 5 seconds. He wants to keep him here. Content to take it to the second period. Nice first period by Trenton Gibbons. Trace Schoenebeck. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, but he looks like a heck of a tough competitor. Waiting to determine the starting positions here for the second period. Trenton Gibbons will be in the bottom position. Schoenebeck on top. Yep, there we go. We got a little blood time here someplace. Trenton was trying to explain that to the official, but I don't know. Longtime referee John Shefchek out there. Someone that we've come to know and love and trust. Thankless job, these officials, and we appreciate every single one of them. Well, while we got a little blood cleanup here, Brock, you know, I'm going to go ahead and, this is no formal announcement, nothing formal here, but just saying I had a little conversation with the athletic director earlier today, and the Pulaski athletic director, and she is on the page of maybe we need to have a girls division at the Pulaski Invitational next year.
Yeah. I heard some murmurings.
Some murmur, yeah.
Yeah, that would be exciting. Well, and you know, a lot of these brackets were full with studs, but there were a lot of buys in them. A lot of 9 out of 16, 12 out of 16. Not a lot, I shouldn't say a lot of 9, but a couple. So we've got the time, the tournament runs smooth. We tear 2 mats down. We got the mat space. Might as well get some girls wrestling and promote that sport. So
yeah, I think we could do it. I would really look forward to that. We could make that happen. It's just, you know, I got to say that it has been just a phenomenal experience. If any of you have gone to see any girls wrestling event, the excitement, I don't know how else to say it. It's so encouraging to see the way the wrestling community has gotten behind this movement. Mm-hmm. It truly is a beautiful thing. And I'm not, we're seeing it here in Pulaski. Our fans, our club, our people our administration, everyone is in support of these girls seizing this opportunity to learn about the sport and compete in the sport. And that is echoed across the entire state of Wisconsin. Last weekend, we were over at the Wausau West Challenge Series, and they hosted the Wisconsin Challenge Series, hosted at Wausau West. They had over 225 girls entered in that tournament, and it was just awesome to watch. It's something that I really enjoyed. It's interesting to see kind of some of the old geezers like me getting involved and wanting to see something happen with that sport. There's Gibbons getting the escape. Took darn near the whole time, but he earned his point, so he leads 3-0 as the second period comes to a close. No, I think it's really neat to see how the wrestling community is embracing this and encouraging. It's such a positive occurrence in our sport. And why not? You got half the population out there, right, that can now have a better understanding, a better appreciation of what we've termed man's oldest sport. But why not? And I think that girls have just been waiting for this opportunity to have a girls versus girls, like a girls-only competition. I know that has been the difference maker here at Pulaski. We have, a roster of 14, and that really was the telltale sign for our girls as far as the interest.
And you look at what happened on Thursday at the Bayport duel. There were two girls matches. The crowd was the loudest for those, almost compared to the varsity ones. It was insane.
Yeah.
People were really excited about it.
Yeah, it really is neat. And so, yes, girl power, go. Well, folks, we're going to bid adieu to the color commentary from Brock for a few moments. He's got a couple of wrestlers coming up that he wants to be at the mat side for, be in their corner. In the meantime, here at 182 pounds, we've got 1:25 left in the bout. Trenton Gibbons hanging on to a 3-1 lead against Trace Shanebeck of Luxembourg Casco. Shanebeck in on that little high crotch crackdown position, but they go off the mat. Fresh start, minute 13. Trenton Gibbons, your returning Pulaski Invitational champ. He was a runner-up this year at the Marquette Challenge. He was third at the Bi-State. He was a runner-up at the Cole Center last year in Division I. Trace Shanebeck, a state place winner last year. He is in on a shot right now. Gets to that head under position, head in the middle position. Gibbons able to squeeze and hold tight so far. Shanebeck close, and now as he cuts across, he's got double leg locked up. Shanebeck is close, but Gibbons able to get those knees back underneath him. 14 seconds. Shanebeck looking to drop him to his hip, but Gibbons is locked in the crotch. Now Shanebeck coming around looking to turk that bottom leg. 3 seconds, 2, he's locked in the crotch. There's nothing there. That's the way it's going to end, folks. And that truly is, I'm honest to goodness, not trying to be biased here, but that's the right call, as Trenton Gibbons was locked in the hip, locked in the crotch, and was able to nullify the position. And there is, as he signals it, a two-time Pulaski Invitational champion. Congratulations to Trenton Gibbons on a hard-fought championship bout here at 182 pounds. 3-1 the score in that rematch from earlier in the season. Let's take a look at our place winners at 170 pounds. Give me just a moment to sneak there, folks, so I can run through the names. In sixth place, it was Sam Schutz of Luxembourg Casco. Luke St. Peter of Denmark was 5th. Chase Woozenkraft, the hometown boy, was 4th. Peter Kukta of Coleman was 3rd. Jack Van Rossum of Freedom ended up as your runner-up, and you saw it right here where Judah Hammond of Kaukauna was your champion. All right, sneaking back here to our finals bout at 195 pounds. We've got Ezra Wege of Luxembourg Casco. Braden Zellner of Elkhorn. Wege, the junior. Zellner, the senior. Wege, a junior, 23-9 on the season. Zellner picked up a championship at Nicolet this year. He was a semifinalist at sectionals last year. Looks like he's honorable mention in the Division I rankings. Both wrestlers just kind of banging around, collar tie and breaking, and then there's Wege with the shot on the single leg, brings it up high, brings the leg out and up. Zellner able to sneak back in there with a shin whizzer. He's gonna stymie this position. Let's see if Wege can clear it. Oh, and it's Zellner who's able to sneak out of it and get a go behind for the first points of the match. And that's the way the first period is going to end. 2-0 the score in favor of Braden Zellner of Elkhorn. Zellner defers. Wege going down. Wege looking a little switch, a little turn under action there to begin with. Zellner does a nice job following, covering. Hard ride with a tight waist. He's got him flat now, and he's got a leg in. Working hard on that boot side leg. Looking cross face. And there comes your warning. Not a lot of action so far, let's just be honest. Not a lot going on, and so referee Kevin Gillett trying to get something happening. Warns bottom for stalling. Maybe that'll get some action going. He's trying to build base. He's trying to make something, it looks like. Here it comes now. So we've got a warning both ways. Kevin trying to entice the young men to get going. Zellner able to break him down again. Wege builds back to base, working on that far wrist. Doesn't really have anything now. Zellner kind of had a little bit of what we call cradle ride there for a moment, but just can't seem to get a whole lot going. Now sneaking underneath there, he's got back ankle hook, and maybe he was thinking a little three-quarter Nelson. That's a pretty tough route to take, but now Luxembourg Casco coming out. He's going to have at least one. That's going to be a loss of control, I would think. Kevin going to check with John on that one. I think he's thinking loss of control here. He is. Yes, he is. So there they are. It was a loss of control. Good call. So now we're 2-1 in favor of Zellner. Nice job by Wege fighting for that 1 point right at the end of the period. And now we'll see what he has on top. Riding hard on that left side. Chop, tight waist. Relentless, keeps coming with that tight waist. Just hammering that left side, trying to wear that left side out. And now Zellner looking a little sit out, little switch, a little something. Trying to get some movement. He's got to understand that that movement will create an opportunity for him on bottom. But Wege close to, looks like he's got a bar wrapped up. So he's got him flat. He does. He's got a bar and tight waist, but Zellner able to get back to his knees. And that's going to nullify the bar, so Wege lets go of it. And he's going to go back to work on that left side. Still hanging. Oh, now he's going to relinquish the escape. Try to get something going here. I think Luxembourg Casco coaching staff were encouraging him to cut him and make something happen on his feet. Pretty good call, right? Takedown ties it. 30 seconds. Zellner staying active, moving his feet well. Well, Luxembourg Casco gave up the escape, and there's what we were looking for. He hits that single leg, looks to dump him. Leg is on the outside, now goes to head, and that was the fatal flaw, folks. He had two hands on the leg. You got to keep two hands on the leg to score that. The moment he came up to the head, relinquished the lock, it wasn't going to happen. So a little lesson out there for anyone who cares. Two hands on the single leg. Keep two hands on the leg, folks. 3-1 to score. That's the way it ends with Braden Zellner, the senior from Elkhorn, picking up the Pulaski Invitational Championship. Congratulations, Braden. Let's take a look at those place winners at 182 pounds. Sixth place went to Isaiah Nowak of Coleman. Fifth place, Samson Smith of Anigo. Fourth place, Patrick Moore of Freedom. In third place, Drew Wenzicki of Kaukauna. He was the finalist here last year. Second place went to Trace Shanebeck of Luxembourg Casco, and your champion at 182 pounds, the hometown boy, Trenton Gibbons from Pulaski, picks up his second Invitational Championship. Congratulations, Trenton. Still got one match finishing up at 195 pounds, just a few seconds remaining. Actually, they're in overtime down there, but looks like that one is going to end. And that means we can get rocking and rolling at 220. So you might have heard Brock Manning and I talking a little bit about the possibility of a girls' division at the Pulaski Invitational next year, and that would be quite feasible as you look at right now. I know this is a tape-delayed broadcast. I'm sorry, not tape-delayed, a delayed broadcast. There we go. We don't use tape anymore. This is a delayed broadcast, but we're looking at roughly 5:30 in the evening, early evening, and we're getting close to the end of the tournament. And, you know, why not? If we could probably sneak somewhere between 75, 80, maybe even 100 girls in the tournament. Run separate rounds for them. I'm telling you, like I mentioned it before, Luke Martinson, the tournament director, has this thing fine-tuned, and so why not? We'll see where that goes. We're going to try to make it happen. But right now, we are going to turn our attention to the 220-pounders, and we have Garrett Koshinski from Port Washington picking up a takedown. He's got near fall with that bottom leg Turk, bottom shoulder. I think the official's holding 3. I believe he is holding 3. So Koshinski is going to be out to an early lead here. He is, and now he's got another turn wrapped up, and he's getting close to a fall. He's battling with Jordan Luce of Kaukauna.
Koshinski's the real deal. As a freshman at 220, he's a total package.
He is. We were going crazy about the freshman at 160.
A very similar situation.
Imagine that, 220 pounds of manhood there as a freshman. Good golly. He is close. 20 seconds remain in the first period. Koshinski, he's getting a little high now, but he got a little out of position, but look, he's going to stay in control. But he picks up another 3 in the process, I believe. No. Well, we're going to give him 1 escape, apparently. Okay. No, he did not pick up another 3. I thought that was another pinning situation, but it looks like referee Shevchuk says, no, that's same one. Well, let's see. Now there's a little question. Coach Angelo LaRosa saying, come on now, where are we at? He thought it was a different situation. But that's not the way the official saw it. So we're just the 1 set of 3. So Koshinski on the bottom, gets to his feet right away. Loose, trying to get that mat return. Can't quite get it, still working for it. Sneaks down to a single, but Koshinski, wow. Just really good mat awareness, good movement. Picks up the reversal, 7-1, the lead now. Minute 30 left in the second period. Man, you would not think that is a freshman out there. All right, no, Port Washington right there along the seashore. You suppose it's just that Michigan water, Lake Michigan water, that maybe that's what it is. Gow. And there he is with leg in, bottom shoulder, picks up. There's another 3 coming. Won the score. Koshinski just riding tough here.
Let's go, get aggressive.
30-2, Garrett Koshinski. He's won a couple of invitationals so far this year. Pretty solid competitor. He is a 15 and under freestyle and Greco national champion. Jordan Luce is no pushover. 22-10 in Kaukana's schedule. Cheesehead invite placer and was at sectionals last year. Second period is going to end with Koshinski in the lead, 10-1. So Luce wants to try his turn at top again, see if we can get anything going. Again, probably a little process of elimination there for that choice. Wow. Kozinski just keeps hips underneath his head and shoulders, a little turn under, you know, a little hip heist, a little switch action. Very fluid, very mobile. Gets the reversal. 12-1 the score. He's got the leg in. Working to turn again. Looking leg. Yep, he was going leg in and far side power half, and now he's let go of those. Try something else. Looking near side cradle here maybe, as he's working on that head. Loose stepping out, stepping up, getting an escape. Kozinski, you know, pretty much conceding that one. Seems like he's absolutely fine coming back up here to the feet and wrestling from here and there. He fires off a double leg. Wow. But Loose able to down block, hold it off. He was looking for a little front head, but nothing in that exchange. 12-2 the score. 45 seconds remaining in the match. And Kozinski catches a little headbutt, a little something there. It's all part of the process. He's going to be okay. Take a little injury time here, but he'll be fine. (12-3) the score. 42 seconds left in the match at 220 pounds. As mentioned, it's been a great day of wrestling here at the Fred Kessley Fieldhouse in Pulaski. A lot of great matches. 16 teams gathered here today. Kaukauna is going to walk away with the team title. Right now they are at 273.5 points. Yep, 75 points ahead of Luxembourg Casco. Casco has a nice squad again this year. Action resumes at 220. Less than 40 seconds remaining. Loose going with that collar tie, just trying to get something going. Swatting at a leg, trying to pull. Kozinski just in full control. And Kozinski fires off a high crotch shot, lifts, cuts the corner. Wow. Wow. I should say cuts the corner, lifts, drops him down. He's got bottom leg hooked. He's looking bottom shoulder. 14-3 the score. He's lifting that heel. Now he's getting swipes. That's the way the match is going to end. He's going to pick up on a couple more points. 16-3 by your 220-pound freshman from Port Washington. That's impressive. Man, again, freshman making noise in the Pulaski Invite Finals at weights that you wouldn't usually see that happen at. So congratulations to Garrett Kozinski from Port Washington. Wow. Let's take a look at our place winners at 195 pounds. Let me get there and run through the names for you. Sixth place was Aiden Rowe of Hortonville, and fifth was Cale Leisgang of Seymour. Will Friedman ends up fourth. Trent Fuke of Freedom was third. Ezra Wege of Luxembourg Casco was your runner-up. Braden Zellner of Elkhorn area was your champion at 195 pounds, which means it's time to take a look at the big boys here at 285 pounds in the finals. We've got Vaughn Campbell, the senior from Bayport, squared off with Hunter Vanderheiden, the sophomore from Freedom. That match is underway, as you can see. And this is Going to be fun to watch if they're comfortable hanging out here in this over-under and these body lock positions. Vanderheiden, very confident here, looking to try to punch that low shoulder in there. Off the mat they go. Interesting. We'll see how much time we spend in that over-under during this bout. Vaughn Campbell, he's willing to go to it. Vanderheiden right back in it.
Coaches, we need your most valuable wrestler balance in as soon as possible. So far, we've got 2.
Vanderheiden comfortable digging in there, pummeling in for the inside position. Oh, banging head and pounding in, trying to get double underhook. There he's back to over-under. Not exactly sure what Vanderheiden's credentials are, but as I not shocked. Here it is. Freestyle and Greco state runner-up. Not a shocker. A Greco Central Regional champ. You can see he is comfy there. I think that's great. Vaughn Campbell, the Bayport senior. It's a state qualifier last year. I'm pretty sure he was an important part of that solid Bayport Pirate football team that made it to the state semifinals this year. Heck of a run there for that crew. But they go off the mat at the far side. 5 seconds left in the first period. Still zeros on the board. That's the way the first period ends. I don't think this is going to be one of those matches that comes down to tiebreakers. I think if they keep playing around there in that over-under position, someone's going to hit the floor. Vanderheiden takes the bottom position wisely. He wins that toss at 0-0 going into the second. Works his way up. Oh, close to quad potting, but Campbell able to bust him down. A nice hard crossface by Campbell. Vanderheiden has got to free that back ankle hook before he can really get much going. Okay, there he does. Campbell able to come back across for that hard crossface. Vanderheiden looking quad pod. Campbell able to snuff it out a little bit and gets back on the leg, brings him back down to base. And now we've got a warning for the top wrestler. Warning, stalling top. I think both wrestlers are working pretty hard. There's Vanderheiden able to find that wrist, circle his hips out, quad pod gets up, and there we are. We're backing over under, and let's see who can be patient here. Boy, Vanderheiden is comfortable. You see he's got low shoulder there. He's got that right shoulder low, so he's sitting good. And now Vanderheiden gets a stall call against him. Ooh, struggling with that one. He was pushing the action. He was digging in there, but well, we'll defer to the official. There, Vanderheiden with a body lock now. He's got an angle. He's got a body lock. He's off to the side. This is tough. 13 seconds left. There he gets a little corkscrew, little hip, little corkscrew action. Almost gets Campbell down to his hands where he could do a quick go behind. But now, wow. Okay, so Vanderheiden got the escape in the second period. There was a stall call against Campbell, and so now Vanderheiden has a 2-0 lead. So obviously that was Campbell's second stall call. He got dinged, got warned when he was on top. I thought he was riding pretty tough, to be honest, but off to the side trying to get something to go. But got worn there and just got dinged for the point there in that over-under position. Vanderheiden on top, minute 40 left in the match. Vanderheiden with a 2-0 lead. Vanderheiden relinquishes the escape. I'm sure he's a little nervous about getting dinged himself for stalling if he couldn't get anything going. And now, there's what we were waiting for, folks. Vanderheiden with double overs, and that's the fall. We kind of thought something would get going there at some point. Maybe it was just we had to loosen people up a little bit. And Vanderheiden, who had been going over and under and looking for body lock, end up with double overs and launches him. Campbell unable to get off his back. That's the way that one ends. The sophomore 285er from Freedom, Hunter Vanderheiden, picks up the fall and his first Pulaski Invitational Championship. Let's take a look at our place winners at 220 pounds. Give me a moment, a little refresh here, and we'll go through those. Folks, we're going to stick around here with our broadcast because we're going to hear we'd like to hear the pin trophy winner and the Outstanding Wrestler Award given. And we'll get through these place winners at 220. Sixth place was Devin Otto of Coleman. Fifth place was Jonah Getch of Denmark. Lucas Leisgang of Seymour ended up in fourth. Henry Vanderheiden of Freedom was third. Jordan Luce of Kaukauna was second. And Garrett Kozinski of Port Washington, the freshman, picks up his first Pulaski Invitational Championship. Congratulations to all the place winners at 220. And they're going to call those 285 place winners over as soon as they can. Again, you know how this goes, folks. You're wrestling fans. You know what happens. You got to do a little bit of administrative work. You got to get the coaches to turn in their ballots for the outstanding wrestler. And they're doing the calculations. Actually, Track Wrestling is doing the calculation on the most falls in the least time. And there will be team awards given, though that was locked up a while ago. We mentioned to you that Kaukauna is going to walk away with the golden goblet. 270 odd points for the Galloping Ghost today. 275 and a half. Woo. Luxembourg Casco in second with 198 and a half. Bayport, strong showing. Third place, 180 and a half. Freedom had a nice outing today, 178. So think about that, 178 for Freedom, 198 and a half for Luxembourg Casco. Those two teams will see each other, I'm sure, as we go into February and team sectional. Pulaski ended up in fifth with 159. Coleman in sixth with 156. And Hortonville, Seymour, Denmark, Port Washington, Elkhorn, New London, Peshtigo, O'Connell Falls, and Anigo rounding it out. Let's take a look at those place winners at 285. So we've got things refreshed. We can tell you that Brock Saha of Seymour was in sixth place. Oh, hang on a second. We got Track Wrestling is giving me some fits here for a moment. Boy, you gotta love Track Wrestling. What a change it has made to our sport and running events like this. Back in the day, something like the Pulaski Invite, you know, we just didn't have the facilities to throw down 6 mats. Back when it was at the old high school, you'd have 3 mats, and wow, that was a full day. Of course, we couldn't invite 16 teams back then either. So again, we think about the
evolution of the sport and the opportunities for these young men and women in this modern era, and it's really a thing to marvel at. Looks like we had in 5th place was Langdon from Elkhorn. Yeah, folks, I'm just going to end up messing this up because, oh, there we go. We finally got it. Again, here we go. Brock Saha of Seymour was in 6th place. Nathaniel Langdon of Elkhorn was in 5th. Kane Otto of Coleman in 4th. Ben Krieger of Kaukauna was your bronze medalist. Vaughn Campbell ended up as the runner-up. And Hunter Vanderheiden of Freedom, that sophomore at 285 pounds, was your champion at 285 pounds. There we go. Again, just kind of holding off here, folks, see if we can get a chance to get the tally on the outstanding wrestler ballot. Last year, it was Grayson Clark of Kaukauna. Wouldn't shock me if he was the winner again this year, but he certainly looked outstanding all day. But we had some other fantastic finishes and some great performances, and we'll see if we can bring that information to you before we part ways today. There it is, 285-pounder Hunter Vanderheiden from Freedom picks up the most falls, least time. And now the Outstanding Wrestler Award
goes to a 3-time Pulaski Invite champion, the senior from Kaukauna, Grayson Clark.
It is not a shocker, folks. Grayson Clark, the class of the class, the class of the tournament, the outstanding wrestler of your 53rd annual Pulaski Invitational. Grayson Clark from Kaukauna. That's 2 Outstanding Wrestler Awards he's picked up from this prestigious tournament. That's going to do it for us here at the Raider Strong Network. I'd like to thank our live stream team led by Colton White today. I'd also like to thank the color commentary from Brock Manning. Signing off for everyone here at Pulaski High School and the Raider Strong Network, I'm Terry Manning. Have a great day.